Earlier today, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said his forces are not leaving Lebanon. That is a sticking point in these conversations. He said it publicly in Israel.
Well, we're going to take a lolook at it.
Well, what would you do to make sure that he doesn't
Well, I'm not going
sabotage
to
the
tell you
deal?
what I'm going to do, but it gets solved. I'm a problem solver. I get problem solved real fast, including with Bibi.
כשהם אמרו לי, אל תיכנס לרפיח, אתם יודעים למה הם אמרו, אל תיכנס לרפיח?
You know why they told us, don't go into Rafah? Because the President of the United States said he would stop supplying weapons. I said, I respect him very much. He supported us at the beginning of the war. But we have no choice. We will go in, and if necessary, we will fight with our own resources. Because there are moments when you have to know how to tell even the President of the United States what principles you stand by. When I came to President Trump a few weeks ago, I told him, we are going into Iran because I am not waiting for those who threaten us, those who openly declare that they want to destroy us. By the way, I told him, they want to destroy us first. We will not allow that to happen. That is why we are here. I did not ask for permission. I simply informed him of our plans.
Have the Houthis pushed Israel into such a desperate corner that it now feels compelled to attack Trump's deal and fight the diplomatic track as hard as the battlefield one? Is Israel panicking over the Houthis and, in the process, beginning to see Trump not as a partner but as the obstacle standing in the way of its own security goals? Is Israel quietly preparing for a full-scale Houthi confrontation even as Trump pushes for peace, suggesting the region may be moving in two different directions at once? Is Israel now bracing for its toughest Houthi battle yet, with commanders possibly expecting a more intense and costly phase of conflict ahead? Is Israel preparing for a showdown that Trump does not want, setting up a clash between Washington's diplomacy and Israel's security calculations? Israel's military is reportedly preparing for the possibility of renewed fighting on the Yemen front, as officials quietly update operational plans against the Houthis. Those plans targeting the Houthi group have reportedly been reactivated and revised, signaling that Israel is not ruling out another round of escalation. The move follows strong warnings from Israeli Defence Minister Israel Katz, according to Channel 14. Katz said Israel's account with the Houthis remains open after repeated attacks, making clear that the confrontation is far from over. He warned that the Houthis would pay a heavy price for targeting Israel and its interests, sending a direct message of retaliation. Military plans are said to be ready if Israel's political leadership orders new operations, keeping the option of a fresh strike on the table. Israel is also strengthening its response to threats coming from the southern front, as pressure builds along the Yemen axis. Katz warned that senior Houthi leaders could become direct military targets, raising the stakes for the group's top command. The report said Israel may seize any opportunity to eliminate top Houthi commanders if the situation allows it. Amid all this, tensions remain high in the Red Sea, where security concerns continue to grow and the threat picture remains volatile. The Houthis returned to the headlines earlier this month after launching missiles from Yemen toward Israel, reigniting fears of wider escalation. The Houthis say their attacks will continue as long as the wars in Gaza, Iran, and Lebanon persist, keeping the region on edge. Amid rising tensions around Hormuz, another mystery strike has rattled global shipping routes, putting captains and insurers back on high alert. On June 25, a cargo vessel was reportedly hit by an unknown projectile in the Strait of Hormuz, adding a fresh incident to an already tense waterway. The UK's Maritime Agency said the impact damaged the ship's bridge off Oman's southern coast, leaving visible scars but no immediate sign of who fired. According to UKMTO, the incident took place about 7.5 nautical miles southeast of Dahit, right along one of the busiest corridors for regional traffic. The ship's master reported no casualties and no pollution despite the damage to the bridge, a narrow escape that still underscored how close this came to disaster. UK maritime officials say the projectile has not yet been identified or attributed, leaving open the question of whether a state or proxy was behind the attack. In the aftermath, 3 vessels, including 2 major oil supertankers, reportedly abandoned planned Hormuz transits via Oman, choosing caution over risk. Notably, the attack hit just as oil prices were dipping and Hormuz traffic was edging back toward pre-war volumes, threatening to undo fragile market calm. Just a week earlier, on June 17, another ship was attacked off Yemen's coast, suggesting a broader pattern of strikes along the region's critical sea lanes. A commercial shipping vessel came under attack from armed assailants near Yemen's port city of Aden on June 17. The United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations, or UKMTO, reported the security incident in waters close to Aden. According to UKMTO, the confrontation took place roughly 105 nautical miles, or 194 kilometers, northeast of Aden, Yemen. United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations said, and I quote, UKMTO has received a report of an incident 105 nautical miles northeast of Aden, Yemen. A vessel has been approached to within 4 meters and fired upon by 2 skiffs with an unknown number of armed persons on board. The vessel has deployed security team and returned fire. The suspect skiffs have now disengaged and are in excess 4 nautical miles of the vessel. The crew are safe. Vessels are advised to transit with caution and report any suspicious activity to UKMTO, while authorities are investigating. End quote. Authorities have yet to establish which group or organization was responsible for carrying out the attack on the vessel. Earlier, 2 merchant ships were also reportedly targeted by armed skiffs operating off Yemen's coastline, according to UKMTO. Meanwhile, the IRGC Navy has ordered ships to use only Iran-approved transit routes through Hormuz, a move that tightens Tehran's practical control over who passes and how. The force said any transit outside officially designated shipping corridors is prohibited, according to Press TV. In a June 25 statement, the IRGC described the use of unauthorized routes as both unacceptable and potentially dangerous. The Navy said all vessels must coordinate with Iranian authorities before entering or transiting the waterway. The warning came days after Chief Negotiator Baghir Ghalibaf pledged what he called a new reality in Hormuz. Iran's parliament speaker said the crucial shipping lane would never return to its pre-war operating conditions. The issue of Hormuz restrictions remains one of the most sensitive unresolved matters, following the U.S.-Iran Memorandum of Understanding. The agreement signed by Washington and Tehran seeks to halt the cycle of escalation, confrontation, and retaliation. Under the MOU, Iran agreed to facilitate commercial shipping through the corridor during a 60-day implementation period. However, Tehran has repeatedly stressed that safe passage remains conditional on coordination with Iranian authorities. The latest IRGC warning reinforces Iran's intention to strictly enforce those requirements and navigation conditions. Iran has installed its heaviest ever offshore oil platform in the Persian Gulf, a move that underscores both its technical capacity and its determination to work around sanctions pressure. The new P4 platform, weighing about 6,200 tons, was deployed at the Rishadat oil field roughly 90 kilometers south of Lavin Island in the Gulf. Officials say the structure was fully designed and built inside Iran, highlighting domestic engineering and manufacturing despite years of US-led sanctions restricting foreign technology. The P4 is expected to boost Rishadat's crude output by about 35,000 barrels per day, adding a significant new stream to Iran's offshore production. In addition, the platform can inject around 80,000 barrels per day of water into the reservoir, a key technique used to maintain pressure and sustain current production levels over time. Iranian engineers used a complex float-over installation method to position the massive topside on its base, reflecting growing expertise in advanced offshore construction techniques. Experts note that U.S. sanctions delayed the project by limiting access to specialized equipment and know-how, stretching timelines and increasing reliance on local solutions. Iranian officials argue that completing the platform shows the country can adapt and ultimately defeat sanctions pressure by building up its own industrial capabilities. Since 2018, Tehran has increasingly leaned on domestic firms and engineers for energy development, from drilling and platform construction to subsea systems. The Rishadat upgrade represents a major boost to Iran's offshore oil sector, expanding capacity just as diplomatic conditions start to ease. Iranian oil exports have also climbed to a new high in the days following Tehran's recent deal with the United States, suggesting the country aims to capitalize quickly on any opening in the market.